Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we are back. Well, I am back after the Celtics 94-81 Summer League win over the New York Knicks. I'm here recording in Vegas. Sam, busy today. Got plans, but I'm holding it down. You're stuck with just me today. Apologies if it's a little loud. I'm literally just recording inside the arena. There's not much else. Nowhere else I can really go. Regardless, Celtics improved to 2-0 in Summer League. Get some flashes from some new guys. Miles Norris and Hugo Gonzalez both sat out of this game. Celtics have back-to-back games. Matt Reynolds said after the game, getting some rest here. They're going to be back in action. Don't worry about it. Nothing crazy is going on. Some highlights from the game. Jalen Bridges, I guess, is the biggest highlight outside of Charles Bassey, who came off the bench. In terms of starting lineups and new faces, though, Jalen Bridges, 16 points, 5 rebounds in the starting lineups for the Celtics. 6-10 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. The three-point shot looked pretty good based on what I saw sitting there watching the game. So that's Bridges. But Charles Bassey is by far still the star of the show for the Celtics in Summer League so far. 22 points, 13 rebounds off the bench today. 1 assist, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Shot 8 of 12 from the field. Fouled. How many times did he foul? 4 fouls, not too bad. Second bench best, plus 15, I should say. Man, Charles Bassey's good. I mean, it's not a hot take. It's not a surprise. It's nothing of the sorts anymore. He's just a good, solid center. Obviously, take some of this for granted. It's Summer League. You know, you have to add that context. He's playing against guys who are fighting for their chance to get into the NBA. And so obviously he's going to have more of an opportunity to body guys in the paint, to get these offensive rebounds, to set these screens where these guys aren't necessarily used to getting screened from NBA caliber bodies and people who are prepared to play at that level. So he has an inherent advantage just from having spent so much time in the NBA over a lot of the guys on the court. But regardless, like, for a player who is of his caliber and has spent as much time in the NBA as he has, this is what you expect from him. Sorry if I'm stumbling over my words. They're blasting music in here, and so I'm like getting distracted by that. But this is what you expect a guy of his caliber to do, and he's doing it. It's not like he's underperforming based on what you expect from an NBA level guy. He's doing exactly what those types of guys are supposed to step in and do. We talked about it on the full length pod yesterday as you guys are listening to this. Should or could or will or what is going to happen, you know, should the Celtics sign him, will it happen, etc. It's tough to tell. I still lean on no, because they probably would have signed him regardless. Like, it kind of feels like he was testing out free agency, nothing really happened. And so he kind of caved and had to play Summer League to get his stock back up. It's working, and the Celtics are giving him the platform to do that. But if they really wanted him and really were interested, they probably would have just signed him outright. Like, the fact that he was a last-minute addition to the Summer League roster on the first day of practice for Summer League is a little bit telling of, like, maybe they're obsessed with this guy. And could this change their opinion? Absolutely. Do I think they should give him a chance? Yeah. I think he's good enough to play NBA minutes. But the context, again, is he's never played more than 36 games in a season. He's doing all of this against Summer League level competition. And would he drastically alter the Celtics' chances more than a Nemish Keita or Luka Garza? Probably not. Like, that's just the reality of those types of things, the bench picks. Speaking of Luka Garza, before continuing with Summer League, Luka Garza and Josh Minot were in Vegas today. We spoke to both of them. Both of them talked about getting the chance to play with the Celtics. Luka Garza made it clear, like, yeah, opportunity was a big part of why I wanted to sign in Boston. It was like, I spent the last few years learning from really talented centers in Minnesota, but I really want a chance to play. And I think he believes, and I think the Celtics have communicated, that there could be a chance for him to do so in Boston. And obviously, with the state of their center position, it's him, Luka Garza, I should say, Nemish Keita, Xavier Tillman, and Amari Williams rounding out that center spot there. So you could see some opportunities for Garza. You should see plenty. The defense isn't really there. He's really good at drawing charges, but he's very slow. He'll need to work on that. Three-point shot has come around a little bit, funky shot. But he's confident. As for Josh Minot, he was basically like, Brad called me and said, there's, minutes here if you're willing to fight for him. And so he was like, I'm going to be willing to fight for him. He came here, said he's confident he can guard at least 1 through 4 at all times. Like, he's very confident in his abilities as a defender. They also didn't really know that the other were coming here. At least Luka Garza didn't. It was a nice surprise that Minot was going to come too. When asked about Garza, Minot said, shit, we all saw what he did at Iowa. He can score the ball. So I think that's funny, at the very least. George Niang was also in Vegas watching the Summer League Celtics, as was Xavier Tillman and Joe Mazzulla. The 4 players, Niang, Tillman, Garza, Minot, sat together courtside. Niang did not speak to the media. Joe obviously did not. Tillman did not either, but nice to see some of those guys supporting the Summer League Celtics. As for the rest of the squad and the rest of the game going on, Baylor Scheierman had, I would say, a pretty noteworthy performance. He still isn't shooting the ball great. Only shot 1 of 7 from the field and 6 of 17. Or excuse me, 1 of 7 from 3 and 6 of 17 from the field overall, I believe were the numbers. 6 of 15, excuse me, from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. But he had 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, team high plus 23. Was in complete control whenever he had the ball in his hands, and you could just sort of tell how comfortable he is. And it's pretty easy to see how comfortable he is running this offense and pretty unfazed when he misses shots. He's talked about that the last 2 press conferences he does. He's like, I said he's grown in that area in regard to not thinking about the misses as much. It's obviously, he says that when I shoot the ball, I'm not trying to miss, and so you can't really think about it too much past that. So if it doesn't go in, it doesn't go in, and you move on from there. But he looks good in terms of the ball handling and doing the other stuff outside of making the shots. But eventually, the shots will have to go in. So, but I thought it was a pretty solid performance from him. Amari Williams, for a guy who didn't make a shot in this game, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, doesn't look like a lot. Some of the passes he's throwing out are as advertised, man. Like, it's so clear to see how good of a passer he is. Even when, he had a sweet pass to Jalen Bridges in the corner, and Bridges missed the shot, or somebody in the corner. I think it was Bridges. Maybe it was Kendall Brown. But it was just like a beautiful, on time, on target, perfectly timed up with the cuts that the Celtics were making and the defense moving. Like, Mario Williams is a special, special passer, man. He had one where he drove a closeout. He put the ball on the floor, made a play happen, kicked it at the corner, got the Celtics an open shot. He does some fun stuff, and if he can just work on some of the other stuff, like the rolling to the rim, the finishing around the rim, the defensive presence, he has a chance to be a real player. But all of the tools are there. Like, he can do all that stuff that I just said he needs to work on. It's just he needs to do it like consistently over and over and at a high level. But the tools are there. Jordan Walsh, less good in this one, had a really good, efficient performance in the Celtics' first summer league game. 2 of 10 in this one against the Knicks, 1 of 6 from 3, but 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Did a good job of staying aggressive and getting inside. 7 fouls, 13 points though. There was at one point in the game where he was complaining to the refs a little bit. I don't know if it was a delay game, but some sort of thing happened, and Matt Reynolds was like, "Focus on the game, just move on." So still a little bit of that, not jitteriness, but the tendency to get distracted at times there. One of the guys I've been very impressed with and continue to impress me this one, Max Shulga, can play, man. He only had 7 points, 2 assists, 2 steals. I asked about it after the game. I was talking about it on Twitter. I have never seen a player, or I probably have, but like, it stands out about Shulga, be so stone-faced constantly, like shows no emotion, but just constantly plays with this high-level intensity. He is like the very start of the game, he airballed a floater, airballed his first shot of the game, but then he got a steal as soon as the Knicks got a ball. He stole the ball back, moved it back around the court, gave it to somebody else. I think it was Baylor, stepped back out, hit a 3-point shot, and then immediately started full court pressing. Shulga turned the ball over a few times. He missed a bunch of shots. He was 1 of 4 from 3, and I think only 2 of 6. 3 of 9, from the field. It didn't matter if he made a shot. It didn't matter if he missed a shot. It didn't matter if he turned the ball over. It didn't matter if he dimed up his teammate. There was no change in emotion on his face. Matt Reynolds after the game said, like, it's a good thing. You need that in a point guard. It's good for them not to get too caught up in things. It is just so impressive the way he's able to focus on the next play and never get caught up in the moment. Like, it is a very impressive trait that I have blatantly noticed in the first 2 games. And his ability to put the ball on the floor, his float game is nice, man. He had a couple and ones in this game. When he gets in the lane, he floats the ball up, bounces it off the rim a little bit. Like, he can finish around there too. If the shot comes around, they could have a player. But as the team's point guard, which he has been, or he was in this Knicks game with Hugo Gonzalez out, like, Shulga ran the show a lot, and he did a damn good job of it. So give him credit. I thought he looked really good in this game against the Knicks. Past that, getting into the bench guys outside of Bassie, who we already talked about a little bit. Kenneth Lofton looked a little bit better in terms of the efficiency. He had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, was 3 of 6 from the field. It's just not there with Kenneth Lofton, man. Like, he doesn't have the awareness to pass the ball or kick out when he gets in the paint. He's great at getting paint touches, great at getting advantages, but he's not great at capitalizing on them. He's like a bull in a china shop, man. He gets down there, he runs into traffic, and he kind of just doesn't really know what to do with it. So it's I understand why he has struggled to fit into a role in the NBA, but has thrived. Like, when you're as big as he is and as talented as he is at getting to Also, apologies if the audio is bad. The Wi-Fi here is terrible, so I don't know if I've been cutting out a lot. Maybe I'll have to re-record this, but we'll see. Prayers that it sounds okay. I see my speech bubble moving in StreamYard, so I'm going to leave hope that the audio is fine and the video might just be messed up, but apologies. Kenny Lofton. It just seems like when he has the ball in his hands and he's very talented. He knows where to go, where he wants to go. Is great at getting to the spots he wants to get to on the floor. And in a league like China, where he probably has the physical advantage and the skill advantage over a lot of the players, you can see like, okay, yeah, I get why he was the MVP. I get why he dominated. You put him in a situation like this where even if it's not like full NBA level talent guys, like he's just not able to push them around as much. He's going up against these big bodied 7-footers and he pushes them around a little bit, but he doesn't have the wherewithal to kick out of the paint when he needs to. So it's a little bit messy with Kenneth Lofton. I don't think there's a future with the Celtics, and we'll see what happens with him in getting into the rest of the NBA. Kendall Brown is pretty good again. He was a -2 in the plus-minus, but 11 points, rebound, to steal, assist. 4 or 5 from the field. Did a solid job of cutting off the ball. Did a decent job of filling space. Isaiah Wong was pretty non-existent. 1 of 4. Same thing with Aaron Scott. But the biggest overarching takeaway for me, was they won. And they won dominantly. Second straight game, the Celtics have won fairly comfortably in Summer League. And the Grizzlies game was against Jalen Wells, a legitimate NBA starting caliber player for the Grizzlies. Cam Spencer, who played some minutes for them. Gigi Jackson, who played rotational minutes for the Grizzlies the past couple of years. This Knicks team was probably one of the weaker ones that they'll play because they got Kello Ware and then Dalton Connect in these next 2 games, both of whom are NBA rotation caliber players. This Knicks team was like Ariel Horty, Tyler Kolek, guys in the fringe sort of in New York. But they did what they're supposed to do. Like Matt Reynolds very clearly has these guys playing a hustle brand of basketball. They're picking up full court, whether it's Shulga or Gonzalez or Scheierman or whoever. They're playing for each other on defense. It's a very well-connected group on that end. And then offensively, they got guys who can put the ball on the floor and make plays. Scheierman, for as much as he's not shooting the ball well, his 8 assists, like he's driving into the paint, making plays for others, and spawning offense for the Celtics lineup. Max Shulga is getting the ball inside, creating space, and drawing to and doing stuff for them. Amari Williams making plays for others. Like there is no go-to Jason Tatum or Luka Doncic or Shea type where you can see that person drawing all the gravity on the floor, and so it's really easy to make space for others and make plays and draw 2-on-1s. But they just play such a well-connected style of basketball where it's Baylor Scheierman runs off the ball off the screen from Jordan Walsh. Jordan Walsh spaces back to the 3-point line, but at the same time, Charles Bassey is cutting, and then his guy has to tag the roller. And like they're just constantly moving at all times. I broke down some film with Jordan Walsh yesterday, and he explained the play that I described to me. He's like, the way I positioned my guy, and this was about the Grizzlies game, the way I positioned my guy was where I knew Baylor Scheierman and Charles Bassey were about to run an action. So I positioned him to the point where I knew he would have to attack the big man. And when he did that, it gave me space to screen Baylor Scheierman's guy off a little bit. So then Scheierman's guy was behind the play. The big had to step up. Walsh's guy was already tagging Charles Bassey, and then that was an open 3-point shot for Jordan Walsh on the wing. Like they just play as such a smart, like, do it all free flowing brand of basketball. That's kind of what Matt Reynolds hinted at back in Boston before they came to Vegas. Like they're, as much as they have Max Shulga, who has done a great job as the team's point guard, as much as they have Ugo and Baylor Scheierman, both of whom can make plays, and Jordan Walsh for that matter. He made some good plays in that Knicks game, especially. They just kind of move the ball and move off the ball and screen for each other and roll to this just space on the floor and find space behind a 3-point line. Jalen Bridges got some great looks today just off of Amari Williams and Baylor Scheierman's creation. Like they just do a great job of capitalizing on the space that they're able to create for each other. So it's obviously only 2 games in. They've got 2 more to go before we see what happens in terms of the 5th game and the potential playoffs. But the Celtics have looked really, really good and better than I think a lot of people, including me, expected them to do here in Vegas. And it's because of how hard they're playing on defense and how free-flowing the offense has been. So credit them for that. We got some check-ins for the Wizards next game as you hear the buzzer. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys think. Sam will be back this week. It's probably going to be a little messy in terms of recording stuff because I am in Vegas and going to be at Summer League all day and doing all this stuff, but running around. But let us know what you guys think of Summer League so far. Let us know who your standouts are. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is ridiculous.